That's a lot of highlight here. We are live.
Okay, we're gonna get started, folks. Okay, welcome to the Legislative Committee on Administrative Rules on August 7th, 2025. And before we get started, I'll go do introductions starting to my left.
I'm Representative Mark Higley. I represent the Orleans Lamoille District.
And Rob Plunkett, Senator Bennington District.
Scott Beck, Senator Caledonia District.
Dave Weeks, Senator, Rutland District.
Senator Bennington District.
Carol Lee, Representative Burlington.
Michael O'Grady, Legislative Counsel, filling in for Damian Leonard.
Representative Trevor Squirrel, Representative Underhill and Jericho, and
Emery Mathias, committee assistant.
okay. First item on the agenda, minutes from July 10, 2025. Motion to accept.
Motion to approve.
Any questions, comments, edit? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Next item is review and consider extension request for adoption deadline of Rule 25 PO1. Emily?
Oh, well, I'm not Emily.
Okay.
That's
That's right, he did. Okay,
Jennifer
we
Colin.
have a new one over here. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Jennifer Colin, Director of the Office of Professional Regulation. OPR is here today asking for an extension to file our administrative rules or to adopt our administrative rules for the profession of pharmacy, an extension until November 15th. We filed those rules on January 15th, 2025, and have engaged in extensive public comment, and we had 3 public hearings. And the good news is we got a lot of feedback on the draft rules and want to make sure that we can kind of thoughtfully conclude our rulemaking process by carefully considering all of those suggestions, comments that we've received from the public and from stakeholders. Pharmacy is a complicated profession with many different license types. So this has been a multi-year process for our agency. So we're actually very much looking forward to being done, but don't want to rush it here at the end by, not carefully considering and engaging with stakeholders and the board on the public comment that we've received. So we've had a lot of rulemaking this year. In the last year, we adopted rules for notary publics. We did peer support. We also did dental rules, which were extensive and complicated. And Emily Trito has been our superstar in those efforts. And this pharmacy rule change was also part of her work this year. So she's had a lot on her plate and would just like a little bit more time to finish up the process.
Yeah, you're asking for November 15th.
Yes, sir.
You're indicating that you'll give us the final rules for our review for November 13th. It seems very tight.
November 15th.
Well, earlier, but October 30th, pretty close to that date.
Yes, that is true. And I didn't realize, I apologize. I thought filing by October 30th may not give us enough time. So,
Won't give you enough time.
right. So if,
You'll probably have to modify that. I don't think we need to change the letter.
okay. So
Raise that issue.
thank you. And sorry for that, not realizing that that was so tight. So if we could change that request to, I'd say December 1st or December 15th.
The actual adoption deadline.
Yes.
I don't have a problem with that.
No, I mean, it's, you can approve that. That's, when they request, you can approve the deadline, for the extension.
For December.
Yep.
Yeah, we can make that change. Okay. I'm okay with that.
Thank you.
What you want to say?
Yes, sir.
Is it December 1st or December 15th?
Let's say December 1st.
Okay. Committee members, questions, comments?
I'd make it December 15th.
Oh, okay.
Locked out, put it, fill it up, squeeze the rest of it.
Happy to revise our request again to December 15th. Thank you for the suggestion.
Any other comment, Representative?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Jen, I noticed in the back of the packet that we got, it talks about the deadline for public comment. The deadline for public comment is unavailable for this rule, and also hearing information. It says there are not hearings scheduled for this rule. Is that,
I don't believe that's accurate. So my understanding was the deadline for public comment was the end of March, March 31st, and we held 3 public hearings. So those have already been conducted.
Which rule are you looking at?
Yeah, which,
2501?
No, we're on 2501. We're on 2501, Rule 25, P01. We haven't got there yet.
they haven't submitted the packet yet. They're just looking
Yeah,
for an
yeah.
extension.
Okay, all right, yep, thanks.
Any other comments, questions? Motion to accept the request,
So
Representative Bodie. There's no discussion. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay. Sorry about that, Mark.
No, my hearing aids are in today, but P sounds a lot like E, you know?
There you go. Okay, so now we have Rule 25 E01, a manufactured food emergency rule. Is it Natalie that's speaking for the department?
Yes,
Okay,
thank you.
Natalie, I always get this wrong. Is it whale?
It's in a while.
Yeah, I'll get it right one of these times.
I
All
just
right.
have to keep presenting.
All right, Natalie, you're up.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair and committee members. Thank you for your time today. My name is Natalie Weil, and I'm a policy advisor for the Department of Health. And with me today is the Director of Policy, Jessica Schifano. With this emergency filing, the department is proposing to amend the manufactured food rule. The purpose of the rule is to provide the requirements for the safe and sanitary manufacturing, packing, holding, and distributing of human food offered for sale in Vermont. Act 42 of 2025 changed the requirements for claiming a licensing exemption for certain types of small food manufacturers. The manufactured food emergency rule became effective on July 1. The department is concurrently moving forward with a proposed rule that is intended to make the changes established in the manufactured food emergency rule permanent. The proposed rule is in the public comment period with a public hearing scheduled on August 29th. We expect that Lcar will hear testimony on the final proposed rule around December or January. The changes to the emergency rule, which align with the requirements in the law, establish the following: definitions for cottage food operation, cottage food operator, cottage food product, non-potentially hazardous baked good, and time or temperature control for safety. An exemption for cottage food operators with gross annual sales of cottage food products up to $30,000 from the requirement to obtain a license, which replaces the exemption for bakery products, made in a home kitchen with gross annual sales up to $6,500. There's also an amendment to require an annual exemption filing for license exempt food manufacturers, a requirement for an annual training for license exempt food manufacturers, and a process for cottage food operators to submit requests to the department for a determination regarding whether the product they are making is a cottage food. In drafting this rule, the department worked with Vermont licensed food manufacturers, licensed home bakers, and license exempt food processors who have previously filed exemption forms in the past. They have reviewed and support the proposed changes. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Committee? Yeah, I think it's important to point out that under normal circumstances, I don't think this would meet the definition for emergency rulemaking. But the fact that it's in statute and in the bill that passed that actually required emergency rulemaking supersedes what's in the APA. So I just want to make that point. Okay. Want to add anything to that?
Just to provide the detail, Act number 42, section 6 provides that the commissioner shall adopt by emergency rules, these rules that are before you. So it's something that you directed them to do using the emergency rule procedure.
And I guess, Mr. Chair, now is the time for me to ask the question on 25E01.
It is.
Again, at the back of the packet, there was some explanation in regards to a deadline for public comments, which isn't available, and also there's no hearing scheduled for the rule. Am I reading that correct? And if so, why not? That's kind of a surprise to me.
Thank you for your question. That's correct. The emergency rule did not have a public comment period and public hearing. However, we're concurrently moving forward with a proposed rule that will take these same changes and put them into a final adopted permanent rule. And in that process that we're concurrently holding, there is public comment period and a public hearing. And actually, the public comment period is happening right now. And there's a public hearing scheduled on August 29th, where there's been targeted and broad outreach to interested parties, where we've been notifying them and letting them know of the opportunity to submit written or provide verbal public comment.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Just to provide detail, the emergency rule procedure statute says that the agency has to provide whatever public notice is practicable under the circumstances. So there is no public hearing requirement. There's no even notice requirement. And the emergency rule is only effective for 180 days. And that's why the permanent rulemaking is going on concurrently.
Okay, thank you.
Any members? Question? Motion? Senator Bonner.
There is a person that's listed as a
Oh, I'm sorry.
witness.
I'm sorry, my apologies. Colleen Christ had asked testimony. It was a late ad, so let's provide her. Colleen? Oh, okay, sorry.
I just
There's
lived
somebody
there,
else on
so.
screen, couldn't see the names.
My name is Colleen. I work at the Vermont Food Venture Center in Hardwick. I manage our commercial kitchens. I'm the food production advisor. So we provide production space to about 20 small Vermont food businesses who are both over and under the $30,000 threshold. And I understand the intent of the rule as making it easier for small food businesses to enter the marketplace and reducing barriers. And obviously, given what I do, I'm a huge supporter of small food businesses entering the marketplace effectively. Also out that the landscape for a small food business's distribution today is very different than it was when the earlier threshold was established. If you think in Washington County, within a 10-mile radius alone, of small stores that focus mostly on local products, Uncommon Market has closed down, though I wouldn't say local was a special focus of theirs. But you have Meadow Mart, you have AR Market, you have Fox Market in East Montpelier, you have Roots Farm Market in Middlesex, all of whom are distributing manufactured goods that could qualify for an exemption under this law. I think even with the increased labeling requirement, consumers deserve to know where their food was produced and if it was in a home kitchen or not. I think that when we shop at farmers markets, especially for pickles, jams, and jellies, which have a higher risk of botulism poisoning, which is invisible and tasteless and very deadly, we deserve to know that our food was produced safely with supervision and education from the Department of Health. Every time a health inspector comes out, I learn something and my clients learn something. And I'm hesitant to take that opportunity from folks who are producing in a home kitchen, especially those higher risk products that may have multiple inputs that would be difficult to track in the case of a food recall. Vinegars, cucumbers, garlic, dill, and a simple pickle might all be coming from different sources. And without effective lot tracking, a business might struggle to do a good food recall. And without the training around that they get from a health inspector. So I would just urge the committee to consider that as they work through this emergency rule and as the permanent rule becomes law. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah, the emergency rule is in effect.
Yes, I know. There was no public comment, so this was a goofy.
So I assume that you'll provide the comment testimony.
I will. Yes. Yes.
I appreciate your comment. Yeah, appreciate it. Committee members, any questions for?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And did we talk about the edits we received on August 4th?
I don't think you have heard the memo from, I believe it was from Natalie.
Want to speak to that?
I'm sorry, are you calling on me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the memo we received on August 4th.
Yes, I am happy to talk about that.
Changes made. Yeah.
Yes, so following the filing of the rule to Lcar, the Department of Health made the changes laid out in the change memo based on feedback directly from Legislative Council. And I would say the majority of them are grammatical and formatting changes in nature, fixing errors to make things clear for clarity purposes, to fix errors found in the rule. There was, excuse me, there was one more substantive change in nature. Section 4.1.6.14 was amended to align more closely with statutory authority. And you can see that the change made was all was changed to any goods, other goods defined by the commissioner in policy. And then we added in pursuant to law. And this aligns with the statutory language in Act 42 of 2025. Of course, the legislature can change the list that was established in the act to add any additions if they so choose in the future. And so that is what this section captures. And Jessica, please feel free to add any addition here.
Okay, seeing no additional comment. Thank you.
So now,
Senator Bongartz?
okay, so I move that we approve 25-E01 Department of Health Manufactured Food Emergency Rule as amended by the Department of Materials submitted on August 4th, 2025.
Motion from Senator Bongartz. Approve the rule as amended. Any additional comments, questions? Seeing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you very much for your time. Good to see you all.
All right, next up, we have Rule 25P17, Insurance Holding Company Systems. Dan Raddick.
Hi, good morning. This is Russ McCracken from the Department of
Okay.
Financial Regulation. And I
And,
apologize.
I'm sorry, Russ, this is Dan. I apologize for having some technical difficulties. Russ McCracken will be speaking on behalf of the DFR.
All yours, Russ.
Great, thank you. And I'm sorry, I'm having some trouble with my video.
Don't worry about it. Just go ahead.
So not sure why my camera is off, but we're here today presenting the some changes to the department's insurance company holding systems rule. These changes really come out or are driven by changes to the Insurance Company Holding Systems Act, which were made by Act 110 in 2024, amended a couple of sections in statute in 8 VSA. Those changes to the statute were based on a model rule, a model law updated by the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, the NAIC. In connection with making those changes to the model law, the NAIC also adopted some changes to its model regulation. So we're here today making conforming changes to the department's regulation for holding company, insurance holding companies. The changes really are used to kind of clarify and spell out some of the aspects of the statute. There are a couple of references in statute to exemptions for filings based on rules adopted by the commissioner. This rule specifies kind of when those exemptions apply. Similarly, the statute says there are some requirements for insurance holding companies that enter into agreements for cost sharing and management services based on a rule adopted by the commissioner. This rule and the changes in this rule specify what those requirements are. And really, other than the NAIC changes, the only changes here are pretty administrative, allowing the department to accept some filings by email. So we are happy to take any questions. The department did hold a public hearing and a public comment period, and we didn't receive any comments, which I think is not surprising given that these are changes based on an NAIC model rule that went through its own kind of outreach and development process.
Okay, thank you. Committee members, questions, comments? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
So
Yeah, there's no modification, so, okay. Representative Odie, motion to approve the rule
for the rule. As
Move that we
as it is.
rule 25-17 as presented.
Any additional conversation, discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. Thanks, Russ. Dan?
Thank you very, very much for your time. We're very grateful.
Thank you. We don't have anything else on the agenda right now. I will, couple things. Our next meeting will be September 4th. We won't have a meeting weeks from now. I don't even know if we have any rules at this point. So,
And 10 o'clock, Representative Squirrel,
what's that?
the usual 10 o'clock.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And part of the packet that Emery sent around was updated. You said the updated spreadsheet from Damien?
I'm not, I don't email it now, but
Okay, because when he said, what we worked on a handful of years ago when Andrea was supporting this committee, Anthea, sorry, not Andrea. wanted to take it, as legislators, we tend to do legislating and then we tend to move on. Sometimes we don't always look back to see what's actually come of some of the work that we've done, and particularly around rulemaking. So we decided to take a look at what's happening with bills that are passed, signed by the governor, that have rulemaking in them. Is it new? Is it just a continuation of existing, maybe federal requirements, things like that? Is it mandatory? That's a yes, no question. And is there a date attached to that process? Okay. And so and Damien just finished updating 24 and 25. So we have the last 3 years of that process. And what I want to do at the next meeting is have at least a conversation, discussion about what we want to do with this. I think it's probably more incumbent upon us looking at this and maybe sharing this with communities of jurisdiction, let them look at this and make some determination whether they'd like some follow-up on the part of this committee rather than this committee sitting there looking at that, deciding what to do about each and every one of these items. Now, we all participate in our own communities of jurisdiction, so we might want to take a look at those specific areas anyway that we might be familiar with. So I will want to talk about that and have that on the agenda for the next meeting, and how we want to proceed with that. I think it's a useful tool, and making sure that departments and agencies are accountable for the work that we do. Any comments, questions about that? Okay. Any other business? This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.